Hi, my name is Monica Gall, and today I'm going to be talking to you about what it takes to become a LuLaRoe consultant. If you're watching this, you may have just found me accidentally, or you may be in my VIP group, or in one of my team's VIP groups, and they may have given you this to watch because you're considering becoming one and wanting to know all about it. So that's what this is about. A little bit about myself first. I'm 48 years old. I've been married for about 25 years to the same man, just saying. He's great. I have 3 daughters. They're teenagers. They're all in high school now. And this is my 24th year teaching kindergarten, which I absolutely love. I'm very, very lucky to have a job that I love. In spring of 2015, my husband found out that his company that he had worked at for 10 years was moving south to Southern California. We're in Northern California right now. And so he was getting laid off. And we thought, no big deal. He's got all this experience. He'll find another job easily before he even runs out of severance. Well, that didn't happen. It took about 6 months, maybe even a little bit longer, for him to find work. And when he did, it was less pay than what his old job had been. But he took it anyways and likes the people, likes the job, which is all very important. However, we were looking about a year ago, last fall, and looking at our finances and going, you know what, we're just not going to make it. Mortgages are big in this area. They're not small. And looking ahead, we could see that by the following summer, if something didn't change, if we didn't find a way to either lower our debt or raise more money, we were not going to be able to stay in our home, which happens. Lots of people lose their homes. But one of the things that's great about owning your home as opposed to renting is that you're not at the whim of a landlord. They can't suddenly decide to sell the house out from under you, raise the rent, things like that. So it gives you a stability that we're used to and felt we needed for our kids. So we started looking at ways to make more money. And tutoring would have been a thing that made sense for me because I'm a teacher, but that I didn't really want to do that. And I just happened to see something about LuLaRoe on Facebook through one of my friends in one of my groups. And I don't know why it even really just stuck with me, what it was about it, but I became kind of obsessed with it before I ever even had a piece of clothing in my hands, and started doing research and looking into it. And we decided that even though it was a lot of money to get started, that this would be a good thing for us to do, and jumped in. So this has been a little bit over a year ago. So I've been a consultant since last November, so a little over a year. I'm at the level of trainer right now, which means I have a team of ladies under me that I'm responsible for, and they have people under them that they're responsible for, and we're all just a big group that works together and has fun. And I'm just so glad that I thought of this crazy idea of doing this and that my husband supported it. It's been a really, really good thing for our family. And that's why I'm sharing, because I know that there's people out there who are in boats similar to mine, or who have other reasons that they need to get into doing some kind of work that they can be flexible with. And it's been a good thing for me. So I want to be able to help you if that sounds like something you need to do. A little bit about the company. Oh, and before I go on, really the thing that made me choose LuLaRoe over anything else, well, there was a couple of things. First of all, the amount of money that I could make as opposed to selling jewelry through direct marketing or makeup through direct marketing was much greater than it would have been should I have chosen one of those other companies. Even though I've never sold anything before, I felt like clothes is something that everybody needs, and you can't really you could conceivably run out of the need to have more clothing, but most women aren't going to, because we want new stuff, right? And whereas opposed to jewelry, makeup, it's not necessarily as easy to justify spending money on that. So that was part of the reason. The profit margins, because you're owning your own inventory and reselling it, are much greater, 40 to 60%, as opposed to making a commission off of people ordering through a website, which is a smaller amount. So there was that, but there was also the vibe I got from the company, which was just very giving oriented, very team oriented. It never ever, from the very beginning, from when I was even talking to different consultants in different teams and different lines, trying to decide what to do, I never felt like people were competing against each other. And they're not, and that's one of the things that I can say, that after a year of doing this, that is the case. We work together with people who aren't on our team. We work together with whoever's in the neighborhood or people we meet, at convention. It doesn't matter. And part of the reason I think that maybe we're less competitive with each other than perhaps some other direct sales consultants might be, is because we have a slightly different product from each other. LuLaRoe has 31 styles. Each consultant gets different prints. We don't get to choose our prints. We just get what we get, and we don't throw a fit. That's a kindergarten thing. And so I could get snake print leggings, and the lady 2 streets down may not get those, but she gets some other cool print that somebody's looking for. So, we've got customers that will literally hop around the neighborhood creating an outfit from different consultants, because we do all have different things. So we can share customers in a way that maybe you can't in other companies, okay? A little bit about the company itself. It's a little bit more than 3 years old. It was started by Mark and Deanne Stidham, who are still the owners today. And this company is completely debt-free and has no shareholders, okay, which is rare. They started 3.5 years ago in their garage. Deanne made maxi skirts and sold them, and they started out from there to where they are now, which has been enormous growth. They were already in a growth state before I joined a year ago, and in the last year that I've been with them, it's grown enormously. They're really on track at this point to become a $1 billion revenue company, like $1 billion a year company, faster than some big name companies that you would kind of go, what, really? That fast, that big? Yes, and all debt free and with no investors that they need to be responsible to. So it's like a family owned company still at this point, which is amazing. They have a really interesting mission statement for a company that is in sales, and I'm going to read it to you. LuLaRoe, through fashion, we create freedom, serve others, and strengthen families. A place where lives are being blessed and dreams achieved through love, purpose, confidence, trust, and growth. So even though we're selling clothing, that's not the main focus. That's not the whole goal of the company. The goal really is bigger than that, which has a lot to do with flexibility, freedom, and families. And you can see that all the way from the newest consultant all the way up to the top, where the owners will need to sometimes be off dealing with family, because family comes first, which is huge, and that's something that drew me to the company. They're just in such a growth mode right now. It's just really amazing to see and be a part of. As far as what consultants do, consultants sell, and we have women's, men's, and children's clothing, and you have your own inventory, so you have it with you, and you sell it. The traditional model is that you sell it in people's homes. You go to people's homes with your inventory and sell it at what we call pop-ups, which are short 1.5 hour parties, and a hostess invites her friends. You sell the clothing, and then you gift the hostess rewards. A traditional reward would be 1 free item for every 10 items her friends buy, okay? So that's the incentive for a hostess to host. They're super fun, and there's other ways to do it too. People sell online in their Facebook VIP groups. They sell on Periscope through Facebook Live, which Periscope and Facebook Live allow a way for there to be an interactive video, which isn't as good as having people with you in person to chat with, to try clothes on with, all that kind of stuff. But it's a step maybe more better than just posting in albums as far as being able to interact with customers. So, and other ways too. There's ladies who have baskets of leggings on their desk at their day job if they have one, or who, I've been known to carry a tote bag with me when I go to my hairdresser or to other places, my dentist's office, and I get requests, hey, can you bring a stack with you? We need to dig through. Whatever you need to do, you can do. There's policies and procedures that are our guidelines that you need to abide by, but other than that, there's a lot of flexibility about how much time, how much effort, and when you want to work this business, which is great. The process and cost of joining LuLaRoe, the process is very simple. You go through a link from whoever you'd like to have be your sponsor. Every consultant has a link, and you go through that link, which takes you to an application and various forms of paperwork that you can read through. You sign. It'll ask you for a checking account information, and that's not for them to take money from you. That's for them to be able to be depositing money to you, because through their processing system, their money, your sales go through Audrey so that they can pay sales tax for you, and then minus the sales tax and a credit card processing fee, the money from any pop-ups you do then gets deposited directly into your bank account. So that's why they need that information. And then they send you a DocuSign email, which has the consultant agreement. And then once you've signed that, you're in line to become a consultant. It's not an immediate thing. We call it the queue. And waiting in the queue takes anywhere from 6 to 10 weeks, depending on how things are going. It's been averaging about 8 weeks right now. I've got somebody under me who's been waiting on 10 weeks right now, so sometimes it can take longer than other times, but you're looking at about 2 months of waiting, which once you've decided to do it, it can be really, really hard to wait, But LuLaRoe tries to make it easier on you, and so do the teams. So like in our team, for example, we add you to our coaches team page, which is Aaron and Melissa, and to our own team page, which would be the Unicorn Squad, so that you have people to start chatting with, and you can start, watching for notifications for trainings that come up. Home office does trainings on Monday afternoons, training calls, just for people who are waiting in the queue to get their call, to help them get started on what they need to do, what they can do while they're waiting to get that call. When you go through the link, there's no risk at that point. So you're not handing over any money, and you're not legally bound to hand over any money at that point. You're just signing up, you're applying. Once they call you, that's when they ask for the money, okay, which we'll get into in just a minute. So what I tell people is, if you're at the point where you think you're like 50% or more sure that you are wanting to do that, this is something that would work for your family, go ahead and fill out the link and apply, and get yourself waiting in line. And then after that, go ahead and work out the details about how you're going to pay for it, where you're going to keep your inventory, things like that, because you've got 2 months and you're going to want something to do during that time. So, and then if it doesn't work out or you change your mind, all you do is, if they call you, you say, or when they call you, you say, you know what, I changed my mind. It's not going to work out for me. They take you off the list. No big deal. The money is a lot, but it is fully your inventory plus a few other things. So I'm going to give you an example of a package. Our onboarding package, which is what we call it, is your initial inventory, and it varies depending on the season, on what the best-selling styles are at that moment. So I couldn't tell you exactly for sure what's going to be in it, but there's usually about 300 pieces, and they give you a variety with all the sizes. So like a recent onboarding package that we had the Cassie skirt, which is the pencil skirt, the classic tee, the Irma tunic, the Julia dress, which is the one that's kind of a long straight dress, the knee-length one, the Lindsay kimono and the Monroe kimono, the Carly dress, the Randy baseball tee, and it came to $4,900, okay? That does not include leggings. So there are bigger packages that include leggings and cost more money. I recommend to people usually to go ahead and go with the lowest, whatever the lowest onboarding package is at that point, which is usually going to be around $4,900 to $5,000. And you can literally turn around right then and place an order directly after that for leggings. So let's say you do that. Let's say you want to get leggings right after you have bought your onboarding package, and you go with the smallest package. That would be, so for 32 packs of leggings, half tall and curvy, half one size, that would be another $600, okay? And then your other expenses would be about $500 more. So that would include your racks, hangers, business cards, shopping bags if you're doing in-person sales, shipping labels, mailers, stuff like that, okay? So it may not be a whole $500, it just depends. And we always have recommendations for the good ones to get, things like that, but best deals, all that kind of stuff. But you want to budget that much. So between the initial inventory, adding leggings, because I just assume everybody wants to, and then your other expenses, you're looking at about $6,000 more or less. And that's a lot of money. What you have right there though, that $5,000 of initial inventory, not counting the leggings, remember you're looking at a 40 to 60% markup. You just bought wholesale at that amount. So if you turned around and you sold every single piece in your initial inventory, you would have spent about $5,000, and you would have then received back about $10,000 more or less, okay? So doubling your money is what you're talking about there. That's not how people do it. People don't just get an initial inventory and sell every piece because you want to keep adding new inventory and keep selling. But that is what you have. There's no startup fees or anything like that you're paying to LuLaRoe. You're literally just paying for your inventory, okay? Which they then ship to you, and it takes usually, they say it takes 2 weeks. Usually it seems like people are getting it, at least all the West Coast people seem to be getting them within a week of their phone call right now, and then you're ready to go, and you can just start selling it immediately. So that's about the expenses, and most of us don't have $6,000 lying around. If you do, good for you, I'm happy for you, but most of us don't. I know I didn't. So some different things people do. You can take out, some of you may have savings, totally, you can do that. You're responsible. When they call you, you need to pay at that point. So you can use your savings, you can ask family members if you want to, you can get personal loans. You just literally Google personal loans online and you'll have a whole bunch of stuff come up. You can apply online, super easy. I know people who have borrowed against 401ks to do this. A lot of people do credit cards, and one of the things you can do is open a credit card specifically for this and look for one of the ones that's 0% interest for 18 months, or ones that you can get mileage out of, where you're getting Southwest miles or something like that, so that you're putting this big chunk of money on there, but in some way you're getting something back, at least that way. So that would be some ideas of ways that you can pay for it, okay? It's a lot to put out, and you don't know. I know that you'll make it, but you don't know when you put out that much money. Am I just throwing my money to the wind? What's going to happen? Most people make that initial inventory back very quickly. It just depends on how much time you have and that to dedicate to it. I do this part-time because I teach full-time, and I made my initial inventory back within 6 weeks. So not this November, but the November before, I got my inventory middle of November. By the end of December, I had made that much money back, okay? So, an 18-month 0% interest credit card is really, really, thinking about having that balance paid off before you hit the 18-month mark is a really doable thing, okay? Can't guarantee it, no guarantees here, but I'm just saying it is a doable thing. And I'm just so glad that we did a personal loan, and I'm so happy we did it. We've made that money back many, many times over right now. It was totally worth the interest and the stress. So choosing a sponsor is an important thing that you're gonna have to do, and I really think that it's important to go with your gut with things like that you want to find somebody that you feel comfortable with, that you feel like you can work with, because this is a person you're going to be wanting to feel comfortable going to and asking them questions, you know. And none of us know everything, but you want somebody who, if they don't know it, they're going to know how to find somebody else who does know the information. You want to find somebody who you get the impression and you get that feeling in your gut or your heart, wherever it is that you get that feeling, that you feel like they really care about your success, that you're not just a notch on their goal to get to another level in leadership or anything like that, you know. And it's okay to ask around and to talk to more than one person. I know that I did. I talked to several different people before I found the team that I wanted to work with and the sponsors that I wanted to work with. And I'm glad that I did, because, you know, and it's nothing against the people that I didn't choose. It's just that what's a good match for one set of people is not necessarily a good match for the other. You know, we all have different personalities, different ways of working. So it's just something for you to consider when you're deciding. If you don't have somebody in mind and need help with that, that's something I can help you with, because I do have a team of 23 people, and every kind of personality type, and everybody from introverted to extroverted to everything in between on our team. And so, you know, we can always match you up with somebody if that's what you need. Once you are a consultant, how are you going to know what to do, right? We have lots of different training supports within LuLaRoe, both at team level all the way up to corporate. So the home office does weekly calls. Every Tuesday, they do calls with updates with the president and CEO, so Mark and Deanne, on video chat with us, letting everybody know what's going on with the company. We have the designer a lot of times on there, giving us information about the company. They have trainings that they do, same kind of format, so conference call, video conference call, Zoom is usually, I think, what they use, about everything from how to book pop-ups to types of fabric or styling tips, just everything that you could ever need to know as a consultant. The home office calls in trainers, coaches, mentors, the designers of our clothing come in and share with us and train us on different topics. The production people will sometimes come in. So we have training from all over the place with home office. We also, my coaches, the coaches in our upline, do a weekly training, and the topics vary on all kinds of different things, from you know, how to do online parties with people, to how to I'm trying to think, how to do in-home pop-ups, how to do every little part of their business. We have a multi that we work together with as a team that's getting revamped right now on our upline, and then our own little team, Unicorn Squad, has one as well. I do office hours with my team once a week, so that you can pop in on Zoom on Sunday evenings if you have questions, if there's something you're confused about, or something exciting that's happened that you need to share, you want to have some people hear you, and because, you know, we get it, then we're here for you with that kind of a thing. We also have convention, which is really fun in Southern California every year. Lots of different classes you get to choose between at convention. You can learn all kinds of things. And LuLaRoe does do local area trainings. So they will actually go around the country, and they don't hit every single city or anything like that, but they hit a lot of the major metropolitan areas where there are enough consultants in the area that they feel they can get a group of us together. So I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area. They usually come here. They go all over the United States and do one-day trainings. So LuLaRoe has also created their own website that is really exclusively for every kind of training you could need, from tutorials to how to using the invoicing system to, you know, they have recordings of the Tuesday phone calls for people who work during the day and might have missed those. all kinds of stuff on there that's just really amazing. Like literally, I just check in on it once a week to see what's new, because there's usually all kinds of good information on there. So should you decide that this is something that works for you, you're not alone, and you don't get thrown out there with no support. You have a lot of support from us. Earnings, because money, right? It's a great company. There's lots of different ways to make money, and I'm happy I chose a company that I can work with, that is flexible, that I can work around my other job, and that I can feel good about what I'm doing, and show my family and my daughters that, when things aren't going right, you can change it. But it does boil down to money. That was what started me looking to do this, and lots of people. So let's go over profits. I'm going to give you some examples here. So if you do an in-person pop-up, it takes about 4 hours total. So a pop-up is usually an hour and a half, but you have setup, driving to a person's house, taking things back down. So you want to assume about 4 hours of time for one pop-up. The average pop-up, you're going to sell 25 items. That doesn't mean you're going to sell 25 items at every party. I've had pop-ups where I've sold as few as 10. I've had pop-ups where I've sold as many as 70 in person. But 25 is our average, okay? So let's say you sell let's say you do that average, 25 items. If you look at the low end of our items, we have items that are as much as $70 and as low as $25, or a little bit less with the kids items. But if you're averaging something that's like around $30, that's about $750 gross, okay, for that one pop-up. So let's say you do 4 pop-ups a week. Maybe let's say that's your goal, and you do 4 pop-up parties a week. So what you're looking at then is you're looking at 20 hours of work, more or less. Okay, so you're talking about part-time. So 20 hours of work, including the driving to the pop-ups, setting things up, taking them down, all that kind of stuff. 25 items at each of those parties, that's $3,000 a week in sales that you're making. So then at a month, look at a month there, that's $12,000 a month for you worked 80 hours that month. That's like approximately, okay? So 80 hours that month doing pop-ups, $12,000. Now that's gross. That's including your wholesale cost of your items. So cut that in half. About half of that is profit, which of course we encourage people to invest every penny of their profit for the first 3 months back into their business, because as much as 300 pieces of clothing sounds huge and looks huge when you get your boxes of inventory, it's not. You need more than that, and the more you have, the more you sell. But fast forward 3 months in, that you're not investing every penny back into your business, you're looking at $12,000 in sales would be about $6,000 that you can choose what you want to do with it, okay? Whether that's reinvest it, saving some of it for taxes, because you're going to want to do that, using it for your family, okay? So if you consider half of that profit, okay, $12,000 a month, that's $72,000 a year in profit. That does not include any kind of team building, which you're never required to do. You can totally make good money without building a team. Building a team is a way to make even more money, plus help people, which I'm a teacher, so to me that's, of course you want to help people, right? Not everybody does. Not everybody wants to build a team. But you can make really good money not building a team. So $12,000 a month is enough to cruise qualify. LuLaRoe does incentive cruises for anybody who sells $12,000 or more for 4 months in a row. You get to go on a free, all expenses paid cruise, you and your husband or significant other or friend, okay? So $12,000 a month is a lot. Now there's people who do lots more than that too. I cruise qualified over the summer. Since I'm a teacher, I did it while I was off from school, and it was a lot of work, but totally doable. And that's just an example to give you an idea of how much money you could be making. You don't need to do 4 pop-ups a week if you don't want to. If you want to, you kind of decide, this is how much I want to earn, so what do I need to do to get there, okay? But that's an example, okay? So 4 pop-ups a week, 20 hours a week of work, That's full-time income. $72,000 is good money. At least, I mean, it is here. So in California has a high cost of living, so I'm assuming it is there too, wherever you are. So, so that's an example of what you can do. Now, that's not money that just falls in your lap. It's not a complicated business, but it is hard work, you know, especially at first. There's a learning curve with every little thing. And I know for the first 3 months that I was doing this, I felt slightly crazy, definitely exhausted, and possibly a little bit irritable around my family. Shh, don't tell them I know. But, you know, I mean, it's a big thing. It's starting your own business. But it's not complicated. So once you get used to the work and you kind of get into your groove and everything, it's pretty cool, and it's really fun too. I just love, I thought I wanted to do everything online when I started doing this business, and that's not how it worked out. You know how things work out the way they're supposed to. So I was not going to do any in-person stuff. I was doing everything entirely online, and actually most of my business has been in person, doing pop-ups either in my home or in other people's homes. So, and I love it. It's like getting to have a party all the time and hang out with new friends and talk about clothes and eat snacks, and, you know, it's just fun. So, so I'm just really glad, and I didn't know that I was going to like that part. Isn't that funny? And that's one of my favorite things about doing LuLaRoe now. So, who knew? Let's see, what else did I want to tell you guys? I think that's about it. So, I'm always available for questions. If you're seeing this on YouTube, then my contact information is on my channel. If you're seeing this in my VIP group, you can Facebook message me. If you're seeing this in somebody else's Facebook group, that means they're part of my team. They're part of the Unicorn Squad, and you can message them. We have the best team. We work together. The ones that are local to each other, we hang out together. The rest of us hang out online together. We can't wait to see each other all at convention. It's a really fun group of people who are so supportive of each other, and it's like a little community, and we love each other, and we watch out for each other, and we lift each other up, and we would love for you to join that if it ends up that you think this is something that would work for you. If you have questions, feel free to contact me or any of the people who gave you this video, and good luck. And it's a Friday, so I'm going to say have a good weekend. Bye.